were shot outside of a nightclub on Chicago's near South Side. We'll have a live update.
And candidates in the race for Chicago mayor make a last-minute push for votes before Election Day. Here it is tomorrow.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 7 starts streaming now.
Hey, good morning, everybody. 7 on Monday. I'm Terrell Brown.
And I'm Val Warner. It is February 27th, one more day in this month. It is an AccuWeather alert day as well. We're going to get right over to Tracy for the very latest on what's happening now. So we take a live look outside. Tracy?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Yes, we've had some heavy rain in a short period of time. And earlier this morning, yes, just on the city's north side, you can see that heavy rain that fell so quickly, resulting in some flooding issues, poor drainage area. Yeah, getting worse earlier than. But we are seeing some of the water recede in some of those locations. But right now, we are adding some more here in the city. We've had some lightning over the past hour, 40 minutes. There you see, this is kind of wave 2, this line that's going through right now. But this is wave 3. In LaSalle, moving toward Pontiac, and this is continuing to move to the north and east too. So this will continue to head for Chicago, get in here within the next couple of hours. And then this afternoon, I think we'll see the rain really easing up. But we still have lightning visible on the city's north side at this point. Look at these temperatures, 47 degrees right now, Morris, 43 at O'Hare, but 51 degrees back in LaSalle. We'll go through that 7-day coming up. Roz?
Starting with a Metro delay, this is on the Metro Electric. Earlier this morning, they had some wire problems at 18th. That's been corrected, but we're still seeing delays of 15 to 20 minutes on some of those trains, both inbound and outbound. So plan accordingly. And speaking of power issues, up in Lake Illinois and Deer Park, railroad gates that are malfunctioning at the intersection of Cuba and Ela roads, and we are seeing some pretty significant delays, even though they're not showing up on this map. Trust me, they are there. We've got plenty of delays on the expressways. We're averaging about 35, 40-minute travel times, and a crash taking out several lanes eastbound on I-90 right around the Fox River on the Jane Addams Tollway here, and that is causing backups. Take a look at the camera. They've got the fire department out there, ambulance. It looks like right now they have temporarily blocked all lanes. Every now and again, they're letting some traffic through in the far right lane, but that is about a 3-mile backup while they try to get everything cleared up at that location. Val and Terrell, it's going to be a messy, sloppy morning out there.
Already looking like it, and this rain is pouring. Roz, we'll get back to you in a bit. Thank you. 3 past the hour. Want to get to vote 2023. And tomorrow is Election Day for Chicago mayor.
Candidates are making their last-minute appeals. Diane Patthew joins us now with a breakdown of all the campaigning. Diane.
Yeah, can't believe it's tomorrow. Val and Terrell, looking at the early voting numbers, which is, by the way, already breaking records, voters are very interested in this election. Over the weekend, those candidates stressed the importance of getting people to the polls on Sunday before election, and individuals with visits to churches, sharing messages that they hope will change hearts and win over those last-minute votes. After their respective church visits, frontrunner Paul Vallis campaigned on the north side, while Mayor Lightfoot campaigned at a club on the south side, hoping voters give her another 4 years to finish what she started.
The message that I'm bringing everywhere I go is people need to step up and make sure that they have a sense of urgency. And I think the choices could not be more clear, more stark. Our future, our destiny as a city is really on the ballot.
Jesus Chuy Garcia also campaigned on the north side with Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky, hoping to capture lakefront voters who are considered key to winning.
We feel that our closing weekend was very strong for us. We generated a learn in the last week. Our ads are prevailing.
The candidates also stressed the importance of turnout, which is why today they're going to be campaigning all over the city. Val?
All right, Diane, thank you. Interest in this year's mayoral race appears to be driving people to the polls. According to the Chicago Board of Elections, more than 211,000 votes have already been cast. That's a dramatic jump from the 2019 and 2015 municipal elections. The latest numbers show voters are 65 to 74 years old, and they account for about 23% of the early vote. That compares to 18 to 24-year-olds who make up just 2%.
We know young people are tuned in and aware of the issues, so it's just a matter of making sure they have all the practical information to get them to vote.
This morning, the nonprofit group Chicago Votes will be hosting a parade to the polls at 2 local high schools. The event hoped to encourage more young people to vote.
One candidate has dropped out of the race for Chicago's 9th Police District Council seat. Noberto Casas withdrew his candidacy yesterday. The Police District Council is a new office starting with this election. Each police district will elect 3 representatives from the community. There are 22 districts.
Be sure to join Eyewitness News tomorrow night. Live streaming coverage starts at 7 p.m. on our website, our news app, or wherever you stream. Then look for updates online throughout the night. We'll have a complete wrap-up on the air on Eyewitness News at 10.
I want to get to some news that broke overnight. An off-duty Cook County correctional officer was shot outside of a club on the city's near South Side.
A woman was wounded as well. The officer went to Stroger Hospital for treatment.
Jessica D'Onofrio was out there and has this live, Jess.
Val and Terrell, we're inside our live truck right now for safety reasons because we do see lightning in our area. Meanwhile, one of the shooting victims, as you mentioned, is here at Stroger Hospital. Police say he was shot in his back and his arms. The Chicago Fire Department says that the 31-year-old male victim is a Cook County correctional officer who transported himself for treatment. Police say he is in serious condition this morning. The shooting happened outside a nightclub called Hugh Chicago in the first block of East Cermak on the near south side. A 27-year-old woman was also shot, according to CPD. She's in fair to serious condition with graze wound to her face and leg. Police say the 2 victims were standing on the sidewalk just before 1 o'clock this morning. One in a pickup truck fired shots in their direction. It's not clear what led up to the shooting or what the motive was, but back here live, police say the investigation is ongoing and so far no one is in custody. Val and Terrell.
All right, Jess, thank you. Well, it has been 2 years since the disappearance of a pregnant woman in Chicago. Sharitha Morrison's family is looking for answers as they mark the sad occasion. Morrison was last seen in February of 2021. She dropped her daughter off at Earl Elementary School. She never returned to pick her up. A vehicle Morrison was driving was last seen abandoned in Rogers Park.
I want to bring this to peace with me and my family, at least find her body.
Her family says the 38-year-old woman was 3 months pregnant when she disappeared.
Starting today, you won't be able to meet your rideshare vehicle at O'Hare's Terminal 5 anymore. Anyone flying into that terminal will need to transfer to Terminal 2 to meet their Uber or Lyft. Terminal 5 is for international flights and also services Southwest and Delta flights.
This week, the Supreme Court takes up the legal challenge to President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. We are going to learn a little bit more about that story from Washington moments from now.
After it's in legal limbo, President Biden's sweeping student loan forgiveness plan faces a critical week at the nation's highest court. Lawyers backing 2 key legal efforts to block the plan set to argue their cases before the Supreme Court justices on Tuesday. 43 million eligible student loan borrowers anxiously waiting for the court's decision.
Especially if your low-income first generation that you'll have to take on can affect you and your family for years to come.
The Biden student loan forgiveness plan cancels $10,000 in student loans for individuals earning less than $112,000 a year and $2,000 if they were also recipients of Pell Grants. An ambitious campaign promise the president is trying to fulfill using his executive authority of the pandemic emergency.
Loan program is designed to give just a little more breathing.
But separate lawsuits filed by 2 borrowers and a group of Republican-led states argue the president's plan is an illegal abuse of power and is unfair to some borrowers.
People knew what they were doing when they signed it, and they should pay it off.
But the latest Quinnipiac poll shows a majority of Americans support the student loan forgiveness plan. Roughly 1 in 6 adults carry some debt. Collectively, according to the Federal Reserve, Americans owe more than $1.6 trillion in student loans. Many hoping the justices will allow Biden's plan to move forward.
It's not everything, but it would certainly help a lot and relieve a lot of that.
There's been a temporary boost to SNAP benefits put in place by Congress during the COVID-19 pandemic, but those emergency allotments are ending. The city of Chicago is reminding people about the reduced benefits starting in March. The size of the decrease varies depending on income and household size. If you or someone you know needs additional food assistance, the city is reminding people to call 211 for help.
Watching this today, Evanston City Council is expected to decide whether to fund a new animal shelter. The current has been housed there since 1987. In November, the city plans for a new building as part of a $3 million community project. Cost overruns have now put this entire project in jeopardy. Shelter officials say if the city doesn't approve extra money, these dogs may need to find a new home.
The problem is if it isn't approved, there is really no future for the animal shelter.
Workers say the current building is falling apart, the roof and plumbing, and the HVAC system is on its last leg.
Bally's is searching for dealers as it gets ready to open its Chicago casino. 2 information sessions are planned today at Harry Truman College in Uptown. The first starts at 10 a.m. and the other at 3 in the afternoon. You can learn more about dealer classes, job requirements, and a whole lot more. Your live and local news is just getting started as we stream out loud this morning. Coming up, rain, wind, and snow, powerful storms moving across the country this morning. Here at home, Tracy's tracking the very latest, right, Trace?
Yep, we do have this rain that's fairly steady in the area this morning. We'll talk more about it coming up.
Hi, I'm Jason Knowles. Do you really know where your deliveries are coming from? The ABC7i team investigates ghost kitchens, real restaurants using ghost kitchen names on delivery apps. We're uncovering the benefits and the health concerns. That's tonight at 10 on ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Now to the extreme weather overnight. Winds topping 100 miles per hour, slamming the southern plains. This is new video just into our newsroom of damage caused by reported tornadoes in Oklahoma. Daylight revealing the extent of the damage. ABC's Andrea Fujii has more on the wicked weather hitting the country.
The powerful storms rolled across the plains in the middle of the night, with destructive winds from the Texas Panhandle to Kansas. People in Oklahoma City were urged to take immediate shelter after a confirmed tornado was on the move just outside the city. The winds ripping off roofs and throwing this RV against a house. In nearby Norman, Oklahoma, the damage is described as widespread.
All I heard was like rattling. The whole house was shaking. The door was going crazy. Our front window in our third bedroom busted through, and glass was just flying through the hallway, and it was kind of scary.
Same system that brought rain, wind, and snow to the West Coast, stranding drivers and closing down sections of major highways. More than 6 feet of snow fell in the higher elevations of Southern California. Hundreds of students from Orange County were stranded overnight at a camp in the San Bernardino Mountains. In Valencia, this embankment collapsed, sending motorhomes plunging into the river down below. Luckily, no one was hurt. As the storm moves east, forecasters are calling for more ice and snow in parts of Michigan, where thousands of customers were still without power 5 days after a storm blanketed parts of the state with ice. The storm is expected to move to the northeast, having rain today from the mid-Atlantic to New York City, and snow to the north, 3 to 6 inches expected in Boston by Tuesday. Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, already blanketed with snow, are gearing up for more.
Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Wicked weather definitely across the country, and right now it's pretty wicked outside here, Tracy.
Yeah, we've had some heavy rain in the area, Val, and lots of folks reporting lightning. Waves of rain have been with us here this morning, along with gusty winds and some lightning. And I think we're still going to have another wave of rain coming through here this morning. Afternoon hours still could bring maybe an isolated strong storm far south. The severe threat, I believe, continues to diminish in our region. So right now here in Chicago, we just got done with this line. There's still some lingering light rain, but I should say we just got done with the heavier rain out of this line, and that is moving out over the lake as we speak. Now over around Michigan City, Valparaiso, you're still getting that rain there. But this is wave 3, and the edge of starting to nudge its way into Joliet, right toward Naperville and Aurora, with the heavier rain back through LaSalle, Mendota, as well as into Earlville. And that wave is going to continue to just get into the area. Now, the reason I think that we are seeing this really diminish the severe threat is the main system is still, and you can see how there's a swirl here. The main system is still back there, and it's away from a lot of this precipitation and rain and thunder. So this is the main core of instability. So that's why I think the severe threat is lowering, which is certainly some good news. But we do still have some lightning, just not producing anything we would term severe. So we still have more waves of rain to get through this morning, and then those waves will kind of diminish as far as rainfall for the afternoon. Roz?
Plenty of traffic to get through. We're looking at average 5-minute travel times on most of your inbound expressway commutes. Tollways, most of them are looking really good right now. I'll get to that in just a second because we have a couple other things we need to address, including a new crash inbound on the 290 just past Route 83. We've got IDOT with it. We also have a over crash in Skokie at Howard and Hamlin. We are seeing some delays there on Howard Street. But this crash on 90, the Jane Addams Tollway, that one that is causing delays, we can see it on our tollway cam. It's eastbound right over the Fox River. Finally got all lanes open, moved everything to the left shoulder, but we're still seeing a lot of brake lights from Randall all the way down to about Route 25. Val and Terrell.
All right, Roz, thank you. Well, the U.S. Department of Energy says the COVID pandemic may have come from a leak at a lab in Wuhan, China. The Wall Street Journal citing a senior U.S. intelligence official reporting new information caused the department to update its assessment of the virus's source. U.S. government officials have been divided over whether the pandemic was caused by a lab leak or emerged naturally from the wild. A last-minute engine problem has forced a delay in the launch of the SpaceX rocket poised to take 4 astronauts to the International Space Station. The countdown was stopped just 2 minutes before its planned liftoff overnight. This at Florida's Cape Canaveral. They could try again tomorrow. Still to stream this morning, the biggest community resources center for people on the west side is one step closer to being open and for those in need.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
Henry County now has a new policy for flying non-governmental flags over county facilities. According to the Daily Herald, flying any non-governmental flag now needs the approval of at least 2/3 majority of board members. The new policy comes in the wake of last year's decision not to raise the pride flag over the county administration building.
Chicago's West Side will soon have a new resource center to help people in need. The Mandela World Community Center will be one of the biggest centers open in the area. The goal is to provide resources for people affected with issues like HIV/AIDS, substance abuse, and unemployment. The nonprofit To Walk in My Shoes is helping pay for this.
This was much needed. This is a community that saved a lot, so we're giving back by saving the community that once saved us.
Renovations are going on right now. The center is expected to open this fall.
It is K. Smith Day in Chicago, celebrating the Artist Laureate of Illinois on her 100th birthday. She got that title from the state's Lincoln Academy nearly 3 decades ago. Smith is one of the most renowned historical painters in the nation. She lived in Old Town for more than 65 years. Her home is a gallery for her artwork.
All right, Kay.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, 100 years young.
Exactly.
Doing her thing. Hey, we're going to link up with everybody that's watching Good Morning America right now. Tanya will have a news update. You'll see that on TV and here in just a bit.
And then when we come back, we're going to hear from the man who visited Disneyland nearly 3,000 days in a row. Plus, we're talking about this year's Screen Actors Guild Awards after 7:30.
Now, an update from ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. It is 7:23. I'm Tanya Babich. It is an AccuWeather alert day, and so we have a live picture for you from Storm Tracker, who is on the inbound Kennedy, checking out the effects of today's heavy rain, slow moving out there on the roads. Let's go to meteorologist Tracy Butler for more on the rain.
Yeah, residual effects there on the Kennedy, more heavy yet to come. So here's a broad look at the radar. This second line of rain in the Chicago really brought some heavy downpours. You're still getting steady rain. Many of the north suburbs, Antioch through Fox Lake this week. There's an additional wave of rain that is headed into Morris, into Mazan. If you're not getting the heavy rain there yet, within about the next 10 minutes, you certainly will. And there's been lightning out there this morning, too. But this is kind of the third wave that will continue to move through the area. After that, I think everything else will be spotty as we get into the afternoon. Lightning detection shows how we have had lightning over the past many hours. That is diminishing right now, too. We will take a break, Roz, after this.
Now's the time for a healthy start. So let's move. Let's rest and recharge. And put our health first. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. And do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
back, everybody. This morning, we're looking at travel times anywhere from 45 to 55 minutes. The Kennedy is almost an hour. In fact, Storm Tracker Live inching their way along on the inbound Kennedy right now. They haven't even made it to Harlem yet, so it's going to be a crawl most of the way. We've got some problems. I want to come back to the maps because we've crashed Skokie. It's a rollover at Howard and Hamlin. That's still causing delays. And we've got a lot of traffic lights malfunctioning up north in Waukegan at Glen Flora and Buttrick Avenue and Brookside. We've got another one that's going to be at Waukegan Road and North Point Boulevard. It's a four-way stop. Be careful out there.
We've been talking about it this morning. Another live look outside. We've got to deal with this for some hours. Not a great way to start the week. Here we are.
Work from home day.
Thank you. I would have loved to have slept in this morning, put my feet up. Yeah, more on the weather here in just a little bit. Tracy, coming up. A Disney superfan wished upon a star nearly 3,000 times, and his dream came true. Jeff Wrights has been going for the Guinness record for visits to Disneyland for 11 years now. The 50-year-old veteran says that the cost of his passes range from $500 to $1,400 a year. He lives right in Anaheim, and that's where the theme park is.
A lot of people go to happy hour. Disneyland was my happy hour. And I get over there about 5 o'clock after work and walk around, stretch my legs, get some fresh air. I never did a toe tap in the gate and then turn around and leave. I was there at least an hour each time. On average, I was doing about 3 to 5 hours a day after.
So now that he's got the record, taking a break from his trips to Disneyland, on average, his visits actually ended up costing what people pay for coffee every day, and he says it was all worth it. I mean, for that trips, he pretty much works there.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he should. Disney should actually hire him to be one of the guides.
Put on a name tag, man.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful day at Disney.
Yeah.
Get to work.
You are a cast member. Coming up this morning, we check in with Tracy and Ross for a complete update on the weather and
plus involving rideshare service at O'Hare. You definitely want to know that you're going to be taking a flight out of the big airport. That's coming up.
You're watching ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 7. Streaming live now.
Now at 7:30, taking a look at the morning's top stories. 2 people, including a Cook County correctional officer, were shot outside of a nightclub on Chicago's near South overnight. At last, the officer's condition was unknown. The woman is expected to be okay, per fire officials.
Candidates in the race for Chicago mayor are looking for every bit of support. Election day is coming up tomorrow, of course. Early voting sites in all 50 wards will open this morning at 9 o'clock. Election day polls will open at 6 tomorrow morning until 7 o'clock in the evening.
As of today, people flying into Terminal 5 will have to go to Terminal 2 to connect with rideshare drivers. Officials at the airport tell us this change will help reduce congestion at the airport. And It's going to take a minute to get there.
Yeah,
I don't use O'Hare a lot.
Yeah, I was just thinking about, like, if you fly into Terminal 5, you got a whole bunch of kids, a bunch of luggage, and now you got to take a train from Terminal 5 over to Terminal 2 to get your ride share. I mean,
And at the end of a trip, too.
Right.
That is very important. When you are leaving for a trip, everybody's all
good.
smiles. It's all good. When you're coming back, you don't want to leave. The kids are cranky. And back to reality.
And you got to take a try to get a car.
Yeah.
Come on now.
All right. Well, good morning to you, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Val Warner.
And I'm Terrell Brown. Let's take a live look outside, see how we're doing this morning. We got the rain, Tracy. It's been coming down out there sometimes.
Oh my, it really has. So anything that is suffers from poor drainage or low level lots, yeah, it's a real huge problem with some flooding and ponding of water on surfaces. Right now in Chicago, we're getting a little bit of a fall. This is the second line came through. Here's our little break, but knocking on the door, there is more rain, and it is scattered throughout the area this morning. Out to here, you see Carpentersville, just about anywhere you go. Now, the rain gets heavier much farther to the southwest, and this is going to continue to move to the northeast. So this will be filling in as we go through the morning. But then after that, you have to get back into southeast Iowa to see maybe what will be a few showers that will come here this afternoon. But the heaviest rain is by far this morning. Roz?
We're going to start with the Milwaukee North delay. Actually, it's a cancellation. Train 2118 has been canceled because of mechanical issues. 2124 is going to accommodate passengers and make all stops. So give yourself a little extra time. You're probably going to need it. You're going to really need it on the expressways. 45 to 55-minute travel times. Kennedy is over an hour, and we've got this crash on the northbound tri-state right around 4 racing out a couple of lanes, but you can see the outbound northbound delay starts at about Town Line Road. So very, very heavy traffic there. Storm Tracker Live still crawling on the inbound Kennedy. They have not get to the junction yet. As I said, it's about an hour 5 from O'Hare all the way into downtown, and that's going to be the highest travel time on the expressways. Alan Terrell, it won't take me that long to get over to your studio.
Hurry on up, Rob. Now to today's talkers. Oscars is now less than 2 weeks away, and looking for a front runner, look to the only film featuring hot dog fingers.
Yeah. If you know, you know. If you don't.
Okay, clearly I don't
know. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is what we're talking about here. The big winner at last night's Screen Actors Guild Awards.
Here's ABC's George Pinocchio with more.
Look at us now. 94-year-old actor James Hong celebrated the outstanding ensemble win with his castmates for Everything, Everywhere, All at Once at the 29th SAG Awards. The film won 4 awards at the ceremony. It won the top prize at Saturday's Producers Guild Awards. SAG honors also went to Michelle Yeoh, who won Female Actor in a Leading Role.
I think if I speak, my heart will explode.
And Yeoh's co-stars, veteran actress Jamie Lee Curtis and Ki Huy Kwan, also won for their supporting roles. He is the first Asian actor to win the award in this category.
This moment no longer belongs to just me. It also belongs to everyone who has asked for change.
Brendan Fraser took home the Male Actor in a Leading Role prize for the drama The Whale. His emotional speech also spoke to dreamers everywhere.
Believe me, if you just stay in there and you put one foot in front of the other, you'll get to where you need to go. Have courage.
On the TV side, The White Lotus won the actor for ensemble in a drama series. ABC's Abbott Elementary took the actor for outstanding ensemble in a comedy series. And one of the evening's most emotional moments came from a tribute to the Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Sally Field.
I've worked my life. I've ridden the highs and tried to learn from the lows. And in all of these almost 60 years, there is not a day that I don't feel quietly filled for myself an actor.
There's one more big stop on this year's award circuit, the Oscars, Sunday, March 12th, here on ABC. In Los Angeles, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
Hey,
Wow.
Out of us, four of us, Ross is the only one that's
Seen
seen
the movie.
Everything, all at once, everywhere. Am I not all over the place? Everything, everywhere, all
All
at
at
once.
once, yeah.
But that was a really good movie because it was so interesting and unique, and it was everywhere, all over the place. Like I was just telling you guys, I don't know, it won for editing in one of the awards, and when I was watching it, that was the first thing I said, how did they do that?
Right.
It's got to win for editing.
I don't even know what the movie's about. Right? I gotta figure. I mean, is it
Can you
a
tell us
horror?
in
Is it
15 seconds or
thriller?
less?
Yeah.
In 15 seconds or less, I'll try. It's about this family, and they really transverse in through different universes. Like they were different people in different universes, but the same thing. And it's really like when he was giving the acceptance speech, and he was like, "You have to see it 2 or 3 times to really understand
pick
it."
it up.
Okay.
You kind of do.
Yeah.
You do, and I was going to ask you, do you
Yeah.
really need to? Okay.
But it's good.
Wow.
Well, it's winning everything, so clearly it must be.
So one of the moments that we didn't see just a second ago was Jennifer Coolidge and her acceptance speech from last night.
It's been a special year, and it's overwhelming. And Lotus and Mike White writing me this great part that went on for 2 seasons, and it just HBO giving me this, the thumbs up to let me do it, and I just want to say, I want you all to know that I am just so grateful because, this could be it.
What was that
I
about?
think she was really overwhelmed.
Emotional.
what it was?
Yeah, filled with
Or-
emotion.
Or something else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to call it
We're gonna
filled
filled.
with emotion.
Right.
It's funny because I told you I was watching Legally Blonde this weekend with my daughters,
Yeah.
and Jennifer Coolidge is in that movie,
Yeah.
and it was just so funny to see her in that movie too.
You have not seen Legally Blonde.
Oh, I
You haven't
love
seen
that
Legally
so
Blonde?
much.
Is that in Snap?
Yes.
Breaking news! Breaking news! I'm not the only one who's not seen
Legally Blonde?
I didn't see it either.
All right, movie night. I knew that Ben didn't Snap, right?
But Zoe has.
Has she seen it?
Yeah.
My
She's
girl's
seen
in
it.
that
Yeah,
movie, too.
yeah. So does Zoe, but for some reason I missed it with her.
Movie night at somebody's house.
Well,
Okay.
she'll be home for spring break Friday.
There we go.
I'm gonna watch it Friday. Oh no, I'm not. And if you are counting, this will be the 3rd award Coolidge picked up for season 2 of The White Lotus.
All right, quick break. Streaming out loud. We're back in 90 seconds. Hang on.
Keeps on coming down, and here in Chicago we have a little bit of a break, but that rain is going to be intensifying here as we go the coming hours. Right now, all across the north suburbs, I mean, anywhere you go, that heavier rain is picking up out across the southwest suburbs, Plano, down toward Morris, and this is continuing to lift toward Oswego right now and even into Aurora. Then once we get past this area of rain, what left over is anything that is spotty, and there could be maybe a thunderstorm, especially across some of the southern suburbs, even into the early part of the afternoon. 51 right now, Kankakee, 43 O'Hare, 45 degrees right now out at May. This afternoon, we should get those temperatures up into the 50s. And you see how the rain chances do diminish as we go through the afternoon. Then tomorrow, what we are anticipating is a day with highs in the 40s, and the rain tomorrow holds off until tomorrow night into early Wednesday, and it will be nothing like what we're getting this morning. Roz?
Yeah, a little bit of rain, a lot of traffic. We've got travel times anywhere from 50 minutes to an hour 15. Even southbound DuSable Lakeshore Drive is just a mess. It's about 20-25 minutes from Hollywood to Grant Park. We've had reports of high standing water, and well, you know it's all full of potholes, so it's not going to be a pleasant drive by any means. We've got a couple of suburban crashes in Bloomingdale, Schick Road and Gary Boulevard, and then we've got one in Willowbrook at 75th and Route 83, and of course northbound on the Tri-State near the Lake Forest Oasis. That crash is still taking out a couple lanes of traffic. The delays start for Town Line Road. In fact, we can see it on the camera. There's the delay and there's the emergency crews. So yes, it is causing backups in both directions. Val and Terrell, Tracy, we're going to go back to you.
Okay, Roz, thanks so much. Well, now to a follow-up story we first showed you on Friday. The remodel special room for a very special family. Now, here's the before picture. There you see it. Special Spaces, along with the help from Normandy Remodeling, remodeled this room for a Hinsdale child undergoing cancer treatment. And now the room reveal.
Man.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited too. Savannah Wood, along with her whole family, they were surprised on Friday. They are taking it all in, as you can see. Oh, Savannah, I'm so excited that you are here with us this morning. And in fact, the Wood family and Kelly Knox with Special Spaces all join us. Savannah, tell me the emotion you were feeling. What did that mean to you and your family?
I walked in, I was so surprised. I had in the beginning I had a Pinterest board that I showed to Special Spaces, and they did everything perfectly. It was exactly as I wanted it, and I expected just a plain old room, but they did so much. They did it so perfectly.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So you kind of shared with them what it was you were looking for, right? And you're sitting in your new room right now, correct?
Yes.
And now what about your brothers? I understand they also had some special things done maybe for them as well?
Yeah, we did. It was really nice. I really liked the pictures and the posters of the hillside. And the fact that all of my friends and family members were able to all come together and John, my sister.
Oh my gosh, that is so, you guys are really good brothers, I can tell. Kelly, this question's for you. Why is doing makeovers for family members so important to Special Spaces? And how does a family find you?
It's a great question. It's so important because these children are going back and forth to the hospital. They're not going to school. They're not going to play dates. They're stuck in their room, and we want to give them a place of peace and hope. And our volunteers, our companies, our partnerships are able to do that in just one day and leave them with a tangible space that they are reminded that someone cares, someone loves them, and that makes a huge difference for them in their healing.
Stacia and Stuart, what went through your mind when you received this call for Savannah to be a part of this?
Honestly, we were so
excited and humbled. And before Savannah went through this journey, we didn't really realize that all these organizations existed. The journey's been tough and it's been very unpredictable. And this has really been such a bright spot in Savannah and the boys' lives the past few weeks, just being able to really think about what would they want their room to look like. And then truly Friday was so special with all of our family and friends there cheering her on. It's absolutely a moment we'll never absolutely forget.
Savannah, how are you feeling, by the way? A lot of folks want to know.
I'm good. I'm feeling really good. I haven't gotten chemo in 5 weeks. 5 weeks because I just got my surgery to have my femur replaced.
What message would you have for maybe another student your age or another family who may be going through this? And I'll open that question to anybody in the family there.
I would tell them that everything's temporary, like this isn't forever. You may be going through something difficult right now, but soon you're going to look back at this and be so proud of everything you've done and accomplished.
Oh my gosh, what a beautiful message. Well, I love your room. It looks amazing. Thank you all for joining us. And Kelly Knox with Special Spaces to the Wood family. Thank you all for introducing us to Special Spaces. Really appreciate your time and continued healing to you, Savannah, and to your family as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. And if you would like to connect with Special Spaces, we will post information on how to connect with that nonprofit on abc7chicago.com. Val and Terrell will be back after a short break.
You know what? Sometimes love can be found in the strangest places.
Yeah, for one Wisconsin couple, it happened to be in the line at a Racine McDonald's 27 years ago. When the establishment heard the couple's special love story, they knew they had to help them celebrate, providing a spread with roses and a special meal.
Yeah, reporter Emerson Lehrman more on special occasion.
Even on a cold, rainy February day.
How are you?
Good, how are you? You can't wipe the smiles off the faces of lovebirds Cindy and Mark Francischina.
You didn't forget?
No. After all, nothing says I love you like a burger and some fries.
I am just going to have a quarter pounder meal, please.
27 years ago, Mark pulled into the parking lot at this McDonald's just off of Green Bay Road in Racine.
I was going to go through the drive-thru, but the line was too long. So I decided to park and walk inside.
Little did he know, the decision would change his life.
I was in line, and then I had turned and looked and saw her next to me in the line to my right.
Her, Mark is referred to, is now his wife, Cindy, who had the same craving for some fries and a Coke.
She said hi to me, and she smiled. And when she smiled, I was like, man, wow. She is
He's
beautiful.
way too kind.
No, I mean, I was like stricken, man. She was beautiful.
The two grabbed their respective orders and went on their way until.
And I stopped and looked back at her, and as she got to her car, she stopped and turned and looked back at me. And I was like, well, that's a done deal. I got to go after her now. I got to chase her down.
Chase her down he did, eventually exchanging phone numbers in the parking lot of a nearby car wash. Cindy even keeping the notepad.
This was like actual phones, like landline.
Every year since, on February 9th, she's had a date at noon at the same restaurant with her McDonald's guy.
We never said anything to each other. We just always showed up. At noon at this McDonald's. Well, there were years I was like, oh, he better show up if he forgets. And
no, we never have,
without
though.
fail, we've
always just both shown up and without even reminding each other anything.
The chance encounter has led to more than just an annual lunch date. Cindy and Mark married in 1999 and now have 3 kids and 2 grandchildren to share their story with, one they feel can inspire hope for others who may face hurdles in their love life, just as they have.
Coming from a broken marriage and then, meeting him on the 9th of that year, we didn't come to McDonald's looking to meet our future husband or wife.
Right.
We weren't desperate.
While admittedly every day isn't filled with roses and sweet treats,
We have been through a lot in the last 27 years.
they've stayed by each other's side through thick and thin, offering support, love, and laughs.
I wouldn't trade any of it.
Right, same.
We're blessed. It's been wonderful.
Nearly 3 decades later, the couple looks back on their journey and can't help but smile.
It's so fun to revisit and know that we continued this tradition.
A tradition of love with a side of pride.
Some people swipe right, but instead we just go to McDonald's.
You know what he said that stood out to me?
What's that?
He smiled. She smiled like when he looked at her and he first saw her, she smiled. So many people don't smile and they don't appear approachable, and you never know.
And you're like,
who can
should I
that
make the
person-
move?
Yeah.
Should I not make the move?
Right.
Should I call?
A gentleman needs that. A gentleman needs that from the ladies. He needs to know whether, because I know it's nerve-wracking for guys to make the first move.
Right? Or you don't know when it's appropriate to make the
so a
first
little
move.
smile-
Say, hey,
little
give a
smile
little
goes a long way.
A wink, little come
I don't
on
know about
over
that
here.
wink. Now, if you gave me that wink, I'm going for the door.
Tracy's got another check here with a forecast after this.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
Good morning. Here's a look at the radar. We have had 2 waves of rain come through. We're into wave 3 right now, and it's going to be more widespread. It's going to last a bit longer. I think we'll have rain, but up until the afternoon here. Coming down rather heavy as well. Not fun.
No.
Not fun. Stay dry and be careful out there. So for Tracy and Roz, I'm Val Warner.
And I'm Terrell Brown. We've got you covered on the weather all day long. Of course, here on the news at 7 a.m. and beyond. Tanya Babbage will have news updates, weather and traffic too during GMA. We're going to hear from Roz and Tracy in just a moment. Hang out right here. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
This has been Eyewitness News, streaming at 7. Now, an update from ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. It is 7:56. I'm Tanya Babich. Weather Alert Day. We have a live look at downtown for you. We've been seeing waves of rain all morning long and even some lightning too. Let's go to Tracy Butler, who is tracking the storm for us. Tracy.
Hi there, Tanya. Good morning. Yeah, we've had 2 waves of rain thus far. We're getting into wave 3 right now. That's this one here, as we're starting to see mainly light rain here in the city, out in the western suburbs and northwest Cary down through Schaumburg and Naperville. It's primarily light, bordering on moderate, and then over into northwest Indiana, that rain has spread too. But as far as lightning, most of the lightning that is out there right now is out over the lake. Temperature-wise, 44 at O'Hare, 46 at Midway, 46 degrees currently in Peatone. So wave 3 of rain is upon us right now. This is going to stick around through the better part of the morning. We'll see rain easing up on us, however, through the afternoon. Back after this break.
Welcome back, everybody, to a very slow morning. We're looking at travel times 50 minutes, hour 15. Yes, I am pointing at the inbound Kennedy. Even DuSable Lakeshore Drive is pretty slow. Coming in from the north side, southbound from Hollywood to Grant Park is upwards of 25-30 minutes, and northbound is about 20-25 minutes from Hyde Park into Grant Park. So it's going to take you longer to get wherever you need to go. We still have this crash on the tri-state northbound at the Lake Forest Oasis, although it's all off on the shoulder. Take a look at the tollway camera, and yes, we still see delays in both directions, even though no lanes are currently blocked.